We are back again. Okay. Yes. Okay. Finally was able to do it. So, Mama, the ready player today in the class related. So we are back again. So today's classroom we are going on towards in discussing of the past papers of the operating system chapter, and a couple of classes will be scheduled on this week. Inshallah, on Friday morning we will be having the term paper discussion. Ikat Kesuna. But then Pandro, okay, term paper discussion on Sunday, maybe evening hours will with truck. Hopefully, we're going to go to classes. So, Sunday evening hours, I will be having the operating system, okay, scheduling sections too. So, hopefully, by next week, I will be able to start the networking chapter. So those who all have pre-ordered the tutes, we have been sending it. Some are the tutes tama avine. So ye hinda tama golanda poddak delay එකක් ඇවි. So we are still supposed to send. Okay, so මේ ඔක්කොම print කරලා තියෙන tutes ගහන්න. Okay, so should be sending these tutes in there. So when I get the tutes soon as possible, I will be sharing it to you all. Good. So how you guys are? Okay, I miss all of you guys. Okay, especially online people. Online people, I just missed you all. Okay, it's okay. Okay, yeah. So emotion, yeah, emotion dampa. Okay, okay, right. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to go on towards today's topic. Okay, we have to go through with the past papers, if I'm correct. Yep, no. So past papers, tamai karandone. So tute ticker. Mm. Someone is messaging. So tute kanama kitiyala. அப்பா அப்படியெல்லாம் இல்லை உங்களுக்கு நான் அப்படி செய்வேதா ஓகே டியூட்டிக்கு okay so let's get started uh good perfect okay just now okay especially how many of you all guys okay when y'all and your mothers especially their ideas doesn't tally any of you are there if I say A your mama will say B yeah always there is a fight definitely yeah okay if she says blue color you will see green color okay we will never come into a common discussion. And then finally, father will take mother's side only. So marks were like yeah. Give us did your exams? Exam discussion theory more paper okay, so let's get started. So we're going to go on by discussing one by one questions from A level 2024 onwards, and we will be going through discussing of all the past paper questions to discuss. Okay, it's a lokotane. Hopefully, I will be able to finish in today. Okay, was talking about the mother. Okay, so always the opposite. It's very hard. Okay, to communication with mother, there is no communication. She will just put the bars in there. Via dikade. Ma, why in the communication is basically the essential thing to tell you what you feel. But our people will bring this topic via dikade. Okay, ஒசர்ந்ததுக்கு நீ வேலை இல்லை நீ இன்னும் தாயை நீ வந்து ஓகே தாய்க்கு நீ வந்து கட்டாயமா மதிக்கணும் வாய் அடிக்காதே அன்னது மாதிரி ஓகே அது எப்போ சண்டைதான் வரும் ஸோ அதனால வந்து யோர் மாம் இஃப் யூ டெல் ஏ யோர் மம்மா வில் டெல் பி இஃப் ஐ டெல் ஏ மை மம்மா வில் டெல் இசட் அப்போ இவ்வளோ லெவல் சொல்லி பார்த்துக்கொள்ளுங்க ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் ஓகே ஸோ லெட்ஸ் கெட் ஸ்டார்டட் ஸோ டுடே யூ ஆர் கோயிங் ஆன் வித் டிஸ்கஸிங் A level 2024 paper page number 59. So let's get started from discussing of these papers one by one discuss karenge tak gali varagarla past papers okkum varagarla da ha right okay which are the following regarding PCB we think about PCB like a record book okay you keep on record book you keep on having information about yeah, about what? About your school timetable. Okay, ये वगैरह बतामाई when process loggiga process book के process loggiga तमाई में PCB गिर गया ने. It's a data structure used by the operating system to manage information about a process. Yes, it is created during the compilation. Yeah, program counter of two PCBs can be same. What is the program counter address of the next address? Now, next address, okay, two PCB cannot be same. It should be different. Himanatha, it will be like you are trying to open two programs. There are two subjects at the same time. So program counter basically it's the address of the next block. Address of next block. Okay, it cannot be same. So A, B tamai correct answer. Good. Which of the following switches on a multi-user computer after it has been booted? Sama logs on to the computer from a terminal and starts a web browser. After sometimes Sama starts a text editor and also work on the program. What the hell is this name? Then Rani also log into the computer from another terminal, like a TikTok video. Okay, so how you do go through? For startup, you have to go through with BIOS, OS in. So you have to go through with BIOS, and when you do switching from one process to another process, the operating system comes in the middle. When you switch from one process to another process, process A came process B always there should be an OS. So BIOS, OS, SAMA, OS, SAMA, OS. So the answer is first one. All good? Happy? Right. Each block is 512 bytes. So memory location के एक block के size के वेला 512 bytes. Harida. Okay. The size of the file is 1959. So hey Manang, how many blocks can you use? How many blocks should I use? Each block 512 के लिए you will need each block 512 के लिए you will need how much 512 plus 512 1024 blocks dekai madi blocks tunak 1024 plus 512 is how much pa 1500 ekat madi blocks hatarak konne to 4000 2048. So you will be needing a total capacity of 2048 bytes, which means it is an equivalent of 4 blocks. Hari. Each block 512 kilobyte, you will need a 4 block. So question is how many bytes allocated on the file would be wasted? So you get a total file size of 4098. Your file size is 1559. So subtract karama, you will be getting 9 here, 8 here. So that is 89. A simple question, me like very simple one. Directly toss the question. Done. Perfect. Okay. Amal starts a single processor computer and starts a web browser. After some times, he starts a spreadsheet computer. Running blocked and are the key state of a process. When the operating system temporarily stops the web browser in order to let the process on the processor. So we have ready, running, and blocked. A process might go from ready to running, that is my what is this web browser, but suddenly due to an interrupt you are letting another process to run now, it will go to ready state. So let another process to run now, it will go to the ready state. So in a monavela what is this running block a block will encounter if there is an input output occurrence. Due to an IO event, maybe it might go to block because of an input output event. Mostly because of an input output, a process might go from running to block. Because of a schedule, it will go from ready to running. So, in which state of the above process the web process will be? It will be in the ready process. Write down the transition that the web browser will undergo when it has to wait for some data from the web browser. So it has to wait. So meaning because of an input output event. If it has to wait input output event, it will go from running to block. Some event supposed to happen. It will be running to block. So IO event running to block. Like the user has to start something now running to block. Automatically shift ready. So automatically, and this is manual. Okay. Ta-da! Understood. Rukhaya, done and dusted, pa. Okay. So will you be starting triple revision for us? Yes, yes, we will be also starting triple combo revision. Okay, that is theory, revision, and papers. After sometimes when you are doing the lesson, okay, when it comes near to the 1 year, we will be starting revision series. So revision, papers, and theory will go towards together. Through triple wage tamai scene all three together tamai karanne for you all. So you guys will study more. Papers Kerala. Any questions, doubts? Atika, right? So how did you 5,900? Other one question, Mahanda Tandina file size. So can you explain third question again? Very simple, Raja. You have each block. एक block එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් which you can store a file called 512 bytes. You have a file size of 1959 total file size byte. So blocks කීයක් ඕනද මේක store කරන්න? එක block එකකින් store කරන්න බෑ your file. You can use 2 blocks, but you can't store it. You have to use 3 blocks, still you can't store it. Why? 512 into 3 is 1500 something. So in total, you will be needing to have 4 blocks. Blocks hatarak koni to store your file. That will be a total of 2048. So 2048 minus 1959 nang, you will be able to get the total of wastage. We also call it as internal fragmentation. Exactly. Kanza, done? Shall we move for the next question? Hurry. So let's get started. I hate this WhatsApp, Zoom updates. Zoom and WhatsApp are two good applications which doesn't need any update. I don't know why the hell they give updates. Vana updates. Vana updates. Explain the use of program counter. What is a program counter? Keep track of upcoming address. Keep track of upcoming address. Of process control during the web process to spreadsheet context switching. So from one process, it goes to the OS. From the OS, it goes to the other process. So we'll take the process web and then it goes to the spreadsheet. Okay, the methoding eking PCB comes. PCB කියන process control block. So अभी मैं उसको rotate कर रहा, you all have to write your answer. Okay, a program counter, a PCB used to hold program counter information of the upcoming instruction when it switches from process web browser to process spreadsheet. PCB used to hold program count information. Okay, what is a program count information of the upcoming instruction which used to hold, we'll say, which used to hold upcoming instruction when it switches from process web to process spreadsheet. Ta-da! We have also done these questions too. Beautiful. Karlatino. And so we have a C-part question. So, abhi make kara de? Naani. Karalana. Manang. We'll try that also. Okay, try this question too. Guys, today fully past papers. Friday term paper discussion. Sunday OS scheduling. Mark it. Mark it. Sunday we have online class. Yes. So can you tell me the place number? Just only join. Very nice. 59 ma. Okay, question number C. In C part, what they say, a data often file average or stored in 3 blocks. So एक long store करला तीनों file लेके in 3 blocks. मैं मेवा के diagrams use करना, so you will be having an idea. Okay, sir, சொல்றாரு இப்போ விளங்குது எங்களுக்கு. So 3 blocks, one is 100, one is 125, 150, 175. Now the files are stored in different locations, okay? Using indexed allocation scheme. So இது தான் 3 ஃபைல். இந்த 3 ஃபைலோட லொகேஷன்ஸும் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணிக்கும் ஒரு இடத்துல. இந்த 3 ஃபைல்லையும் locations will be stored in one single block. What is that block number? What is that block we called as Shafia? All these files locations will be stored in one block. We call it as the indexed block. Right. What is the important information needed by the operating system to find this file? Okay, information about the index block. When contiguous allocation is compared with indexed allocation, which one can cause external fragmentation? Both of them, contiguous allocation, you need to have a continuous set of files. You will be able to store the file in there. Okay, you store the file continuously, and that's how you will be able to store the file continuous allocation. But then once it comes to indexed allocation, you can store the file wherever you want. So there is a difference in it. So make a, when you store the file in this format, you will be entitled with what? Lot of empty spaces. See, godak empty space hadeno. These empty space cannot be used by any other program. Why? Because it needs contiguous of file. So who can leads index allocation? Sorry, contiguous allocation. Clear? Clear. 5. Done. Okay. Let's get into the next question. This is contiguous allocation. May original fragments scale. Unused blocks. Okay, let's get into the next part. Next one, we are going on to this. Which of the following cause a set of instructions to be executed when you do context switching? Yes. When you do an interrupt, yes. When the user is selecting to shut down, yes. For all of these, okay, new set of instruction will execute. New set of instructions. What is an interrupt? An signal. What signal? An IO signal. A program executing is called as a process. What is the correct transition? New, ready, running, and exit. Very simple, a straightforward answer. මේකරං previous question වගේ අපිට guess කරගන්න පුළුවන් OS එකක් ඕනේ OS එක නැතුව කරන්න බෑ BIOS OS spreadsheet OS web browser OS because when you switches from one process to another process who comes in the middle the operating system could come in the middle because he performs something called as context switching. What is the repeating cycle that a processor in a computer is involved since the starting of the computer? So under repeating cycle, we have two types of repeating cycle. One performed by the CPU, one performed by the OS. CPU aka the cycle like fetch, decode, execute cycle. OS wala the cycle is context switching. Context switching thamai new ready running blocked. New ready running block and then we have exit. So these are the two forms we do have. So here they're asking a question regarding whom? This question is regarding කවුද කියලා ගත්තොත් repeating cycle of the CPU. ඒකට කියනවා අපි instruction cycle. නැත්නම් fetch, decode, execute cycle. Which program's instruction gets executed by the processor during context switching. So context switching karnakota kaage instruction will be taken place. The operating system's instruction. Not the process A, not the process B. Operating system ki instruction only will be taken place. A register is a group, guys. If I'm fast, let me know. Okay, I'm discussing because you all have done these questions. Hitalatamai. Okay, a register is a group of binary cells suitable for holding information. Yes, a register can hold memory. These registers are made using what? Flip-flops. How many flip-flops are needed to make an n-bit register? So if I have 1-bit flip-flop, 1-bit register. 2 bits, 2-bit register. 2-bit flip-flop can hold 2-bit register. 3-bit nang 3. So if I have n number of bit nang, n-bit flip-flop is needed. Because එක bit එකෙන් එක bit flip-flop එකෙන් එක memory එකක් store කරන්න පුළුවන්. Basically 1 bit சொன்னா 1 bit store பண்ண ඉල 1 bit flip-flop එකෙන් 1 bit store කරන්න පුළුවන්. 2 bit 1 bit කියලා කියන්නේ inputs. This is 2 bit. 2 bit taking you can store 4 2 bits data you can store it 2 bit state data 3 bit 4 bit 5 bit 6 bit n bit කියලා කියන්නේ n number of bit flip flop තිබ්බොත් n number of registers you කරන්න පුළුවන්. All Nombalis, are you started fasting or you guys will be fasting tomorrow? Yes, Rukaya. Nombalis. Friday sir. இன்னும் time வரட்டும். Fasting. கன்சா செஞ்ச பாவத்துக்கெல்லாம் இப்பதான் நோம்பு பிடிக்கணும் என்ன செய்ய? Okay. Friday sir. Friday. Friday. நாங்கெல்லாம் 10 நாள் நோம்பு பிடிக்கிறோம். அவ்வளோ பாவம். Okay. Right. Let's get to the next part. Question B part. A user runs a program having on the computer, the code prints on the input on the screen while the others are computing. So here basically there is no input in this code, but there is always an input is there. මේක ඉන්පුට් එකක් තියෙනවා මේක ඉන්පුට් එකක් නැහැ. So ඉන්පුට් එකක් කියලා කියන IO event එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න. ඒක තමයි මේ කෝඩ් එකේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ. There should be a reason why code එකක් දීලා තියෙන්නේ. මොන teachers ලා explain කරනකොට ඇයි සර් මේ කෝඩ් එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ? නා சும்மா தான் දීපන්. சும்மா தான் අරලා அந்த input word கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு. So there is no input in this code, there is an input. That means input event. So these are like memory blocks. And in that memory block 1 and 2 කියලා ගත්තොත් OS අරන් තිනවා 4 and 5 කියලා ගත්තොත් FP අරන් තිනවා. So the computer memory at a particular time is shown in figure 1.10.1. The memory frame occupied by the operating system, the file reader process, average process are indicated by OS, FP and AP. So OS කියලා කියන operating system, AP කියලා කියන average file reader process. So 3 processes are there. Write down mostly likely where the following is stored. Content of process A will be stored where? Where do you think the content of process A, file reader process data, කොහෙද store වෙන්නේ? In where? Will it be stored in the operating system? Will it be stored in the file reader process or will it be stored in the average process? Data related to the file will be stored where? Simple. 3 boxes are there. Operating system, average file reader. So data about file reader process will be stored in simple file reader process OFP. Another store on data content data. The process control blocks on OS operating system. About to Python program, which of the following will go through running to block? I said you, when it goes to running to block, it is always input output event. Do you remember? I said you, who will be gone several times? Which process is it? It will be the file reader process. What can be the reason? Due to its input feed. Assume that the file reader process in the above process occurs in a different occurs and a different process is running. When a file reader is given to chance run again, the file is able to read from where it has stopped. So process एक pause करला resume करना you can read it from where you have stopped. So when a process is being paused and resumed, your operating system stores those information. When you pause and resume a process, your information are stored somewhere. Where is it? කොහෙද මේක save වෙන්නේ? Where is it saved? Any idea? It will be stayed in the process control block. Process control block. Check this out. A-level 2023 paper. Right. Okay. So shall we go towards the next question? Nice, 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 nice. We have done these questions. Hurry. So 2024 मर गया. 2023 मर गया. Let's get into 2022. कटिए बलंड. करो मत. Should be able to do it. Very simple, easy questions. Like a pattern. I don't know how many of you are capable of figuring it out. Okay, if you all have got it, just click that raise up button. Okay, sir, don't feel out, sir. Feel out and the feelings around the question order. Like ஒரே pattern தான் வருது 23 24 like things that you all have been like figuring out the same thing it's been asked, nothing else. 23 and 24 same pattern. ஒரே question தான், இதுவும் அதே தான், வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. These buggers only don't answer it properly. What to do, what I'm supposed to do? Hurry. Which of the following is correct? Firmware is a program. Firmware is like a ROM. ROM is a firmware. Why do we call a ROM? Because it has a hardware. It has a hardware which is a memory. Plus there is a software is also there. Software is our BIOS. Now the hardware, the memory. What type of memory do you have? It's a permanent memory. permanent NENT permanent memory, or else in other words it's a non-volatile memory එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Volatile memory. Okay, right. එහෙමනම් firmware embedded on a volatile memory? Not exactly. Printer is a driver of an application software? No, it's a utility software. Utility software. Linux is an example of system software? Yes, see only. So firmware is a program that is usually embedded. Correct, but it's not in a volatile memory. Volatile in a sense temporary. No, it's a permanent memory. Printer driver is an example of application? No, it's a utility software. The program execution called as a process transition. So you go from new to ready, ready to running. You can go from running to ready under puluang, or running to block under puluang. Ehema block you have to come to ready and come back on. New ready running, new ready waiting. Adu pila. New running ready. Innada idu? New waiting. So we have the answer first one. Very easy. Which of the following is not a task of an operating system? Selecting the memory frame, maintaining a list of free frames, maintaining a page table, monitoring the usage of binary files, not relevant. Relevant to a function. That means which one, Raja? For which one you're asking? Like monitoring the usage of binary. Just they are telling keeping track of binary files. It's not relevant. You don't need to keep track of binary files. No, operating system doesn't do that. Okay, a file allocation table එකේ මේ වගේ information එකක් දුන්නොත් මේකට කියනවා අපි block number එක කියලා. මේකට කියනවා අපි pointer address කියලා. Address of the next block. ඒ කියන්නේ එක file එකක් has been stored in multiple different blocks. Block 200, 201, 202, next block. So basically if you open 200, inside that you have 202 சொன்னால் මේ file එක link වෙලා දෙනවා මෙතනට. If you see a -1, that's usually the end of the block. Okay, they're asking you to find the directory entry. Directory entry click on first block and the disk space May දෙකම ඕනේ. Okay, so how to do it? We did this question, no? It's okay, I'll do it again. Ma கூடிய பட்ஜெட்ல ஒண்ணு நடக்காதுமா. Just like okay. Okay. Saying is saying okay. Usually you will find the last block is -1 that is available in 202. Someone should have referred 202. Point address okay, someone should have referred 202, that is 200. Someone should have referred 200, 201. Someone should have referred 200, 203. Has anyone referred 203? No. So this is the first block. Blocks එක block එකක් 4 KB. Blocks හතරක් තිබ්බොත් 16 KB. So the answer is 103,16 KB. Understood? Clear? Question number 4A පොඩ්ඩක් කියවන්න බලමු මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියලා. your new operating system cute එක ලස්සනයි. Okay, new book එකක් තියෙනවා, old book එකක් තියෙනවා. We have done changes in the old book. if you guys have got an old book again, you can also replace it if you wanted, but could it changes now? Let me show you all the new tute. Take a copy. Nice copy. Kak. Hey, go on. Stop. So that is nice. See, you will have a very good vibe. Good vibes. Joy, do. Joy. Joy. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Let's see how is this question number 4. Am I making these questions very simple for y'all? When you read the question, it feels hard. That's many people say that. So when you read the question, it is easy, sir. But when we read the question, okay. Okay. The user starts a web browser on a single processor in a CPU, then goes through some Python tutorials and also some text editor and on her work. So they are doing multiple tasks. The diagram shows how web browser and the text editor run on the processor along with the OS since the start. Make a diagram. It's like this. You're going from one process to the other one, from one process to the OS to another process. May process web browser. Okay, you have to switch and you go for the next one. That's spreadsheet. Now, process text editor. This is what they say. See, we have the web browser. That is this. Then we do have this OS. That is this. And then we have the text editor. That is this. See, web browser, OS, text editor. Text editor, OS, web browser. Web browser, OS, text editor. Text editor, OS, web browser. So mati purana. Alincha. Easy no? මේක තමයි concept එක. මේකම තමයි මෙතන diagram දාලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට time එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. මේ time එකට කියන ඒගොල්ලන් queue time එකද? නෑ. මේක time එකට තමයි queue time එක කියලා කියන්නේ. මේගොල්ලන් මේ process එක යන time එකට තමයි queue time එක. OS time එකට තමයි මම හිතන්නේ they have taken it O. Yeah, O as the time no. O yes. O තමයි time එක කරන් දෙන්නේ. So OS time තමයි O time. හරිද? What is the important related work to W, process W, okay, and process T will be performed by the operating system during the period O. So O ekin monada wenne? Context switching happens. So when you switch from one task, basically එක task එකෙන් තව task එක switch වෙනකොට you need to store the information. Where do you need to store? PCB. Where do you need to store? PCB. So process control block will go from ready to running, okay, or ready running to something, and then again it might come back again. So we'll write it one by one. During the time O, operating system performs context switching, which includes the following task. Process W will go from running to ready. Process T will go from ready to running. Harini. So running to ready, ready to running. Eat a passe, what else happened? Content in process W will be stored in PCB. Content from process T will be taken from PCB to CPU, to the processor. Baland Hardekela. During the time O, operating system perform context switching, which includes the following task: running to ready, process W, Potakinda Malli, and Tekrenani, ready to running. Done. Content of process W will be stored in PCB because we have to receive it from the other place. Content from content of PT, process T, will be taken from the PCB to the operating system, to the processor. It's right. Very simple. Assume the time period for operating system indicate for each process is single start queue. Okay, queue එකක් තමයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So they have given predefined number of time. ඒක තමයි automatically switch වෙලා යන්නේ. Explain why W, the period the web browser runs in the second instant, is less. So හැමෝටම they have given equal time, but then suddenly මෙයාට විතරක් අඩුයි. To make it very simple, think about these processes are like classes. Okay, this is like grade, this is science, this is max. Okay, they have given 2 hours and 2 hours. And then when it comes to ICT period, the teacher only did 1 hour. You have been allocated with Q. You can order 2 hours deal, but then you only did for 1 hour. What can be the reason? Okay, you only did 1 hour. What can be the reason? You have been allocated with Q. That's what they say. Assume that the time period the operating system allocate for each process, for each subject to run on the processor is in a single instant is Q. So each subject is given 2 hours period. Science, Maths, English, History, ICT. But then ICT, why ICT? Okay, period in the second instant is less than the Q. So allocated time and W is used time. What do you think? Lesson had been finished, some power cut, sometimes an announcement, some kind of a drill, or maybe a program is taking place. The teacher has to leave early, and nevage cases. What can be a reason a process to be stopped in the middle? What can be a reason a process to be stopped in the middle like that? That's the reason for school. What can be a reason? Due to what can be a reason for a process to stop in the middle like that? Power failure, nice. Anything else? Power failure and எல்லாமே பேய்திருமேமா. Okay, what can be a reason? What can be a reason for a process to be නෑ task එක finish වුණොත් exit වෙනවා. මේ run ඒ task එක ආයෙ execute වෙනවා මේ. the task run now tomorrow. பாருங்க. அப்படின்னு அந்த task மற போவாது. What can be a reason? அந்த நடந்துற process டக்குன்னு இதாயிடுச்சு. I'm doing the classroom right now. Okay, I'm giving a small 5 minutes break. What can be reason? Maybe I got a phone call. Maybe someone has been coming out. Someone is trying to talk to me. Okay, can be reason. What can be the process? Exactly, Ganza. Nice. Due to an IO event wait. Maybe an event input output event එකක් හින්දා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Because of an input output එයාගේ time එක අඩු වුණා. Maybe the user resume it. Sometimes මොනාරි click කරා මොනාරි එකක් කරා. Did you understand? തീർന്നത്? Yes. Nice. 2022. Kanza, where level, mashallah. See, you're performing well, Raja. சார் எனக்கு இதே பார்த்தா பெருமையாகி சார். அவளெல்லாம் பெருமைப்பட வேணாமா, உங்களோட மார்க்ஸ் இது குரூப்பில் நல்லா கொப்பி அடிச்சது எல்லாம். ஓகே, ඊට පස්සේ ඒකේ අනිතේ ඔක්කොම කරානේ. Now we have to go for 2021 paper. Let's try 2021 also. Okay, give a try for A-level 2021 paper. For A-level 2021 paper, let's see whether you all are capable of doing it. So here we have some couple of questions. Theory-based questions. Try these two. Right, right, and right. Okay, we also know that, guys, we do have a separate help desk for you to clear your doubts. So whenever you come across any doubts, feel free to drop a message to our help desk, because sometimes I'll be not able to reply your messages on time. Hemunot help desk ಗೆ ಅರಗಂಡ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ. Okay, so we do have ABCD, so we have to map it. Number one, so A kilekine the process is given to the CPU. Amara saving operating system scheduling the presentation process to run in the processor. Yes, that's A. B ki leke aanne, you are letting another process to happen. This is automatically you are letting another process to happens, or else something another process. So operating system suspending the presentation process to let the web browser. That's B. Okay, this is because of an input output event. Saving the presentation, you have to give commands to save it. So that is 1 and this is 4. A page map table is an operating system data structure that keeps the virtual to physical address mapping to process pages. 10. Guys, did I do this question? Sir, in sending that, did I do this part? මේක මම කොරාද සෙල්ල 101 102 100 this is 103 so again guys do you all see any link between these questions like from 2024 2023 2020 2021 මොනවද ලින්ක් එක මොනවද තියෙනවද තේරෙනවද එකම question එක repeat වෙන්නේ වෙන මොකුත් නැහැ ඔරේ pattern தான் அவ்வளவுதான் கதை so 101 this is the address next address එකට කවුද කියලා තියෙන්නේ 100 who might have said 100 103 is anyone has said 103 no then this is the starting block මේක තමයි starting block එක we call it as the directory block three blocks are there upper 4 into 3 12 kb a student asked how all applications started by him executed simultaneously, although he is using a single processor on a computer. Okay, how is it possible with the help of computers operating system, which manages multiple process using context switching and TCB, which manages memory among process using virtual memory and page mapping. Programs with large size are available than the physical size still being executed. Programs is large size than the size of the available physical memory of a computer can be executed. So program size के लिए क्या है like you can say GTA V size है GTA V maybe 100 GB. Physical memory size के लिए क्या है RAM में का RAM में क्या वेला 8 GB. See, still you are able to run how किला हनो okay with the help of virtual memory and paging technique. Okay, when linked allocation used in disk space, each file needs slightly high storage than contiguous. What is the reason for it? In a linked allocation, normally files are linked to each other. End of the file, you will have the address of the next block. That will only give you the link to the next file. Okay, so make it copy address of the next block using pointer address. That's the reason. Check it out. We'll also have a fun session too, right? We'll also have a fun session before we go for the next part. Great. Shall we discuss on towards the next question? That's from our A level 2000. Make a question number 5. This is question number 6. We have done that question. So finally we have gone to a question and did it. Done, 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 done. Make a part 2 kara. 2019 make it. That question is done. Let's try 2020 also. I'll be able to finish the whole pair for today. Yeah. 2020, say 2019, let's say 18 negative. Try the other pack also. Nice. मैं बोलता arrange करेगा next papers practical. So 2020, 19, 18. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Shall we go for an maybe make a fun session? Sorry, matri tane. No, it's easy. Consider the following statement which is correct. Word size is the number of bits processed by the CPU on a single action. True. That's the number of bits the CPU can run. It is usually 32-bit, 64-bit, 128-bit, gigabit range. The word size in a general modern computer is 3264. Data bus width and the register bit are related to the size. Yes. ඔගලන්ගේ data යන ගානයි address යන ගානයි මෙන්න මේ CPU එකේ bits ගානට related. Okay, whether is it 64 or 32 the කියලා it is related. 32-bit or else 64-bit. So the answer is A, B, C. Which of the following is correct? This defragmentation makes file contiguous, which are fragment defragmentation. Yes, swapping is a memory management technique where memory content which are not used in your computer available for the process. Yes, file allocation table maintains the operating system which provides a cluster of stored file. Cluster like in a group. That's also correct. So A, B, C. Through which of the following device control controls the devices? So a device being controlled by the operating system using something called as the driver. So the driver connects that. BIOS is an example of application. Your utility software is an example of firmware. No. Spyware is a malware. Malware click in a virus. Yes. C only. Question number 5. Okay. Read the following scenario. PL starts the spreadsheet program on a single computer. Use budget.xls file. Then he saved it day before. He is also running a web browser that uses to check his mail. A particular time, the operating system showed the change of the process control block on the spreadsheet from running to block. Give one reason why mainly this transaction from running to block. Now we have already studied. The only reason is most of the time due to an input output, due to an event. Okay. Spreadsheet due to an event occur. When the state of the running to ready, values of the machine PCB stored. The value, so what is the question? When the state of the process change from running to ready, the values of the machine registered are stored in PCB. Why it is important? Okay, it helps the operating system to resume the program, from where it has been stopped. Okay, same question, same pattern. Question from 2000 -1 304. 304 is allocated in 303. 303 is assigned to 30. 300 is assigned to 301. So what is the value of the import number to be stored in the directory entry? Directory entry click in a first block. That's what we call it as the directory entry 301. Assume that additional informants are made for the maximum.py file that result in the size of becoming 20 KB. What do you mean by 20 KB? You're basically extending the file. Okay, basically what are we doing right now? They're extending the file size. එහෙම extend කරනවා නම් you can extend it by this side. Sorry, you're extending the file. So we will use this block. Unused block එකක් තියෙනවනේ. මෙතන block එකේ 4ක් තියෙනවා. 4 ඒවා 4 16යි. So 16 KB, you need 5 blocks. So what we do is we'll put the -1 to the other side and we'll link it. 302, 302. Adding a new block. What changes you need to buy? Adding or using a new block 302, letting it as the end of file, changing the pointer address of 304 to 302. Check this out. Check karo. AWL 2020 paper. Perfect. Done. Great. Okay. May question ne karla. We have done 9th question, so completely fine. We have done the 9th question, so completely fine. Guys, am I fast in discussing? No, right? Okay. May question ne kara. May kathari. So we are going on to 2019. Take around 5 minutes and try this question. We'll see. 2019 pack. Vielen applauso. Okay, right. So let us go for an next one. Before we go on to the next section, that's going to be 2019 paper discussion. We'll also have a kind of an interactive session. I think it will be super boring for all of you all, including myself. Before that, we'll go for an interactive session. Pretty fun session, yeah, okay. Okay. This is on terms of okay bringing back memories. Okay, many of y'all might have childhood memories with evage childhood lies with the okay. So let's see a couple of y'all. Okay, what are these couple of childhood memories and lies that you all do have? Okay, orang tibot ekat drop karana message ka. Let's also discuss and see. Okay, physical class it was fun. Okay, because we gave a chit and you all have to write it. So jai childhood memories la vandinchi. One of the childhood memory, okay, usually you can't sit in the front row, especially when you all are the sibling in the family, the youngest one. When you really wanted to go and sit, your nana will tell, no, 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 you have to go behind because police mama have to have 18 plus students only, 18 plus people only in the front. அப்படிலாம் சொல்லி ஏமாத்திக்கிறாங்க ஓகே நானில் வந்து தரவே மாட்டான் என்ன செய்வான் he will tell okay you have to be 18 then only you can அதுக்கு என்ன sit in the driving seat சொல்லிட்டு கடைசியெல்லாம் தரவே மாட்டான் பட் தென் வாட் இஸ் இட் சொன்னா we will be crying அதில் கத்த கண்டா இருக்கிற பட் ஸ்டில் இதுதான் okay they will never allow you to sit in the front row usually okay next one is an ultimate one how many of you all have ate a kind of an watermelon seed and thought it will grow in your stomach next day and you got really scared kanza yeah watermelon what else ma rukaiya enna ramutanga very good அவ எல்லாத்தையும் தின்னுவா ரின்சோ பேக்கெட்டும் தின்னு பாப்பா அந்த புள்ள okay so yeah okay ramutanga அடிச்சு 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 தின்று and then you really got scared next day ல வந்து ஐயோ வருமா சொல்லிட்டு there is always a ghost under your bed because in your bed okay if you put the blanket it's too hot if you remove the blanket it's too cold so you had to put one leg out so if the leg goes outside the bed that means it's in the ghost area there is a ghost living in your bed you always want to you are still okay it can be whatever age you are still scared to look down what is under the bed அத பார்க்க கொஞ்சம் லைட்டா பயந்தான் ஓகே அவ்வளோதான் அது பாஸ் ஓகே எஸ் ஓகே அதுவும் whenever you have some kind of a கொத்து or something specially at home நைட்டுக்கு மாதிரி ஓகே நைட்டுக்கு வந்தால் கொத்து எடுத்தாலும் கொத்துல சின்ன ஒரு பீஸ் பேகி கொடுப்போம் அது கொத்து கூட தான் நடக்கும் பர்கர் சப்மரீன் அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் நடக்காது கொத்து ஒன்லி ஒன்லி ஃபார் கொத்து we will give a small piece to the devil ஏசி தெரியா பட் துப்பி வீசிட்டு this one, do you all believe it? If you all are wearing an umbrella, okay, you will become short. Hey, yes. Have you all thought about this? You will become short. வீட்டில் சொல்லுவாங்க இதெல்லாம் மாற போய் இதெல்லாம் நம்பி தான் நான் வந்துக்கிறேன் வெசி ஓகே ஹவு ஸ்டூபிட் வி பீப்பிளா ஓகே yeah how stupid these people are that banana thing also there no if you eat that double banana அந்த ரெட்டை வாழைப்பழம் தின்ன there will be twins coming in that old auntie ஆண்டிக்கு வேற வேலையே இல்லை யா ஓகே இதெல்லாம் சொல்லி நம்பிடுகிறேன் ஊரெல்லாம் கதை சொல்லிட்டுக்கிறான் when you are traveling sometimes you think that okay moon will follow you okay you really thought that the moon comes and follows you to okay Param moon is also coming behind us and then you suddenly see the moon and then the moon will disappear എങ്കിണ്ടോ then to see the moon will be okay angle side leaking okay this of course I have got okay got light okay இது வந்து சொன்னா when I wanted chocolate milk and I asked mama said okay in Ambebala there is no chocolate milk because brown cows has died brown cows ஸோ அம்பேவேல போய்த்து நான் ப்ரௌன் கொம்மை தேடினேன் ஓகே மாட்டு வாக்கில் தேடிக்கிறேன் கடைசிக்கு ஓகே இது வந்து சொல்லி ஒரு பொய் ஒன்று இது இந்த மாதிரி பொய் சம் லைஸ் அதே சில மமாஸ் வில் பி டெல்லிங் வென் தே அபவுட் டு கோ அவுட் ஃபார் சம் டின்னர் ஆர் சம்திங் என்ன நம்ம சொல்லுவாங்க வி ஆர் ஜஸ்ட் கோயிங் டு மெடிக்கல் ஷாப் மருந்து எடுத்துட்டு வாருங்க அங்கெல்லாம் சின்ன பிள்ளை கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிடலாம் மருந்து எடுத்துட்டு வர சொல்லி 2-3 அவருக்கு புறத்தான் வருவாங்க ஓகே ஸோ அது மாதிரிலாம் பொய் ஒன்று இதுவும் ஒரு பொய் தான் அவ்வளோதான் இது திஸ் ஒன் if you swallow a gum it will stay in your tummy for 7 years Kirira. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. இதே தான். இந்த பொய்யே தான். இந்த பொய். Definitely. Okay, it will stay for 7 years. We all have thought, okay, it should happen somewhere. Every child's dream is this. Priya Anda fan should come and put on someone's head, and we should see whether that person die or not. So we also had a fan. Gara garas, gara garas, gara garas, gara 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 சொல்லி கத்து. அது பாட்டுல கத்துனீங்க. Okay, we really wanted to see whether this fan will fill on someone's head. கடைசிவரும் இல்ல. கிடைக்கவே இல்லை. சான்ஸே இல்லை. This, of course, dark. Mama I don't eat carrot, so Mama used to say if you eat carrot a lot, you can see dark. Yeah, அது மாதிரி நிறைய ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் கொண்டு வந்து சொல்லுவோம். If you eat tomato, you will become beautiful. Okay, if you eat fish, it's good for your eyes. Okay, and then if you don't eat fish, it's good for the fish. Meaning another. Okay. கீரை திண்டா நல்ல முடி வளரும். அது வருது. ஓகே, அது வேற ஒன்றும் நீ இது வந்து ட்ரூ தாட் வந்து பொய்யெல்லாம் விடுவாங்க கண்ட வாக்குல. ஓகே, எஸ். This is of course ultimate. Have you all done this? I have tried it. Okay, when you had a baby tooth or something, we take the tooth and we throw it to the okay, or else we keep it below the under the pillow so that next day it will become a lollipop. அப்போலாம் ஆசைலாம் செஞ்சிடும். ஓகே, இப்போலாம் பிடிச்சி வீசி இதெல்லாம் வீசினா என்ன அர்த்தம் சொன்னால் நெக்ஸ்ட் டே யூ வில் கெட் ஸ்ட்ராங் டீத். பிடிச்சி வீசுகிற கேள்வி மங்காலூட்டுக்கும். மங்காலூட்டு மாமிக்கு 2 பல்லு வந்து அது வேற கதை. ஓகே, ஸோ அப்படிலாம் கேசிக்குது. ஸோ அண்டே வகை கன்செப்ட். ஓகே, அவங்களோட 2 பல்லு வந்து அது வரைக்கும் கேசிக்குது. Right, so let's get started on to the next part. Okay, let's see what is it. And single operating system, question from A-level 2019 paper we are doing. So these are a couple of memories. If you all also had some small putty memories, feel free to share it. Page number 66. Okay, and page number 66, create a database spreadsheet to get the information required for a spreadsheet with a large database. Using the database, after completing spreadsheet, he saves it. Which are the following? Context switching, because you are saving and resuming. Virtual memory, because it's a virtual memory. So all the concepts will be used mostly. When you are using a program, basically everything will be used. Process block for input and output. Number 1. So block நடக்கிறது வந்து it's always from ready to block will happen always from running to block. Then this is ready. It's easy. So A running, B block, C ready. IO wait vandathan running to ready. This is the fourth time I'm explaining this. Which of the following hardware web match virtual address to physical address? Virtual memory management unit. 2014, 13, 20, 21, 20, 19. 6 years of past papers. Which of the following is not an information stored in a PCB? Stored. Memory management free memory management information free disk slot. இது இல்லை. Okay, next one, an operating system process control block maintains an information about each process. Given follow scenarios and information, run start a computation, blah blah blah. Write down the content that will be stored in the following PCB field computing process when computing process goes from computing process to web browser. Program counter, address of the next register. PCB of computing. Computing will go for ready. What is meant by contiguous allocation? Files are stored adjacent. Adjacent. Okay, write down the content that will be stored in the PCB in computing process. So you're going from Miyagi process again, address of the next register, program counter, you will store the address of the next register, next address of the next, what is it, program counter, next address, or memory location. Maya method Maya ready, this will be running. Write down one drawback of contiguous allocation, external fragmentation. Contiguous allocation you will leads to external fragmentation. However, contiguous allocation is feasible to store in CD-ROM. Why? Because CD-ROM files cannot be, now CD-ROM you are not storing, files cannot be changed or deleted. Read only disk, which will be effective because you're not changing or deleting them. So it will cause less fragmentation. Files cannot be changed or deleted. Read only disk. In addition to normal data, and write down other information that will exist in a file block in a linked file space allocation, address of the next block, point address. See, a question retrieve. It is the same type of question being repeated several times. Okay, A-level 2019 මේක තමයි answers ටික. Okay, and then make a give one reason a particular process can be absent. We have given the answers, no? Okay, so 2019 එකත් ඉවර කරා. Perfect. 2018 we'll be doing it on another session. So hopefully Friday we are planning to have the term paper discussion. Sunday I will do scheduling and also some questions from here. So we have only 2018, 17, 16, 14 very small questions. Try them. That comes to the end of our classroom for today. We are also coming to the end of operating system in a perfect manner, discussing all the questions, worksheets, and everything. I have also included some recordings of the chapter. Okay. This week classes sunatino, Friday and Sunday. See you in the next class. Okay. Allah Kawal, take care. Have a nice day. Inform your friends. We are starting the new chapter, operating system also. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day and much love to all of you all.